what's going to get better about it than the current conversation we're having? This is the beginning of the podcast, which may be weak or strong. You may listen to all of it. You may not. Whatever. We wish we cared more, but we don't.
Hold up. I worked on something very hard, guys.
Ooh.
And this may just replace PK's intro.
Oh, really? Wow.
Well, our audience was kind of split on whether or not, we should have intro music or not. And now that I just closed it for some reason, that kind of breaks up the episode. But I worked on intro music for us here, guys.
Let's hear this music.
Are you guys ready?
I'm pumped. I'm fucking pumped. Cranked up.
Here, one sec. Yeah, so I worked really hard on this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope that our audience,
as hard as Brendan worked on the Heitman Academy.
Well, I don't know. I didn't 10x it, so we'll see. But are you guys ready for the intro music?
I'm ready for the intro music.
The Not Our Finest Hour intro music. Here it goes.
Welcome to the
Not Our Finest Hour
podcast with
King, the Landscape Daddy, and I am a hardscaper.
On this show, we
talk shit.
Your host,
Paver King, the Landscape Daddy,
runs a successful 7-figure business and has over 20 years in the industry. The kid has learned some valuable lessons he wants to share with you. The principles discussed will energize and empower you to crush your goals. And now from the studios, the
Not Our Finest Hour
podcast with your host,
Paver King, the Landscape Daddy, and I am a hardscaper. So then this is where we start talking while the music keeps going.
Okay. Wow, yeah. That is.
What do you guys think?
One of the most original intro musics I've ever heard. Yeah.
That must
Absolutely.
be from Mrs. Producer.
Well, I don't like to be called that, but I mean, we can think of a different name for me. So I guess the audience can vote whether or not they want to hear that each and every week. I don't know.
I think that we should cut this part of the podcast and put it on Instagram and have a vote. See if they like that intro music for us. I feel it was effective, catchy. I'm not sure if I've ever heard it before.
It rings a bell. It seems that I don't know.
There's
like talk about kids in there.
I feel like Nicki Minaj is going to bust us for samples.
I don't know if that clip is for everyone. That soundbite.
That might be really our Caleb's Corner. I don't know.
I went to my parents on Sunday to visit, and my mom presented me with a shirt, and on the front of the shirt it says "Not for everyone."
Really?
It says "I'm not for everyone." I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
Did she listen to the podcast?
I think she listened to some of the initial episodes to try and so it looked like some people were listening because she loves me, and she was worried that perhaps no one would give a fuck about what I was doing. So she thought she would listen to a few episodes. I think my dad still listens. I don't know if she does, but like she says, I'm not for everybody. So I think she might have heard that episode where we're not for everyone. But we have we need to get an official episode. The first time we mentioned that we're not for everybody.
Someone will have to go back in the catalog and find
in the catalog and discover when we just. That could be a shirt.
Quite the catalog. We're coming on a year now.
Like 100, right?
100 what? Episodes? You think? No.
Well, 50
maybe.
Plus,
yeah.
So next week will be our 100th episode. This is episode 98, shit. 99. Next week is 100 and 101. Wow.
That's crazy.
Are we going to do anything special?
Probably.
Do we have anything planned?
I probably should have saved that intro music for the episode 100.
Well, we should replay it for the 100th episode.
Yeah. Well, I might make a new one. Like I might make multiple and kind of compare them and see kind of what our audience likes. So
I bet there's some other music that you could copy. Bet there's maybe a couple other intros. We should try a few different intros.
Yeah, I've got other ideas in mind. So
You've got some other,
original,
got some other
you know,
things back in,
yeah,
like some
yeah.
other ideas. Yeah, fuck yeah. So we instituted a bunch of new rules at our company because the owner of the company is a total failure and has let things really go to shit. So we instituted a bunch of new rules today. And one of the rules was that you can't have personal effects in the company trucks. That you have to take your stuff with you every night because you never know what truck you might end up in the next day. And so you can't have personal effects in company trucks. So
Smart.
being that one of the trucks is actually my personal truck that I own, but I is part of the fleet now, I may have had some personal effects in it. So being that I don't want to disappoint the owner further than I've already disappointed him, I decided to get all my personal effects out of the truck today. So as I was emptying my personal effects out of the truck, I took a picture of them, my personal effects. It consisted of 7 knives and my backup chain. So I have a backup chain in case something happens to this one. A cigar cutter and 2 cigars. And that was my personal effects that were in the truck. And I was like, well, there wasn't that many personal effects, but I can't argue that they weren't mine. So I thought that was funny that I was cleaning my personal effects out of my personal truck. But if I don't take the rules seriously, who will?
So there's no exemption for the boss.
Nope.
Do as I do, not as I say.
Well, the boss has been a total disappointment last 18 months. So we're trying to get
Not
him
a
back
total
on,
disappointment.
trying to
Everybody
get
still
him-
got their paychecks.
trying to get him back on track.
You know,
I'm trying to get him to clean up his fucking act. So, no, he's been pretty disappointing and disorganized and fucked up. So we had a big talk with him this morning. Everyone was there and we had a big chat and we are making some changes as a group. So, but yeah, you gotta, I need some extreme ownership over the situation because it's no one's fault but mine. So, but we are going to battle forward.
is that the only new rule you implemented in the company?
No, there's a whole bunch of new ones. They're pretty basic stuff that I just wasn't fucking doing. So there's that. Yeah. But we did, that was cleaning out the personal effects kind of hit me hard because I was cleaning the personal effects out of my personal truck. And I was like, man, that sucks. It's like mine.
Yeah.
Like I've had it for 5 years. I bought it and paid for it. Like I had it before the company started, but I need to get my personal shit out of this motherfucker. So I took it out.
So
Because if
who
you're not,
takes your truck if it's not you? Like
I
anybody?
never drive my truck.
Yeah.
I drive the Veloster. The company's not in a position for me to, sorry?
How many employees do you have?
9.
Holy shit. That's a lot of workers.
How many do you have?
As much as us. We have 9.
We had like 14 last year. 15.
Holy cow. Trim the fat over the winter.
No, people left. They
Oh.
thought the boss was a disorganized fuck. So, I don't know. There was a story with all of them. I don't think that was all bad. I think that some of it was definitely the boss is a fucking disorganized fuck. Some of it wasn't. But yeah, we have 9 currently. There's 6 field staff, 3 drivers. And then me. Which I guess I shouldn't count myself as like a driver because I was emptying my personal shit out of the trucks. So I don't think I really count as the owner, which maybe that's the problem with the owner. He doesn't act like the owner at all.
What does an owner act like? Because over the past 2 weeks, I've been struggling with this. I've been doing a lot more driving. I feel myself getting out of shape. This week, or actually today, I walked up and down. Remember I told you about that big driveway apron job?
Yes.
So I wheeled that one out today just to make sure I ordered the right amount of material. And I went down one side of the driveway and came back up the other side. And by the time I got to the top where my truck was, I was huffing and puffing so hard that I had to get in the truck and leave because I was embarrassed that the other guys would see me almost having a fit on the.
The real question is, did you order enough material?
Yeah. Well, no, because I ordered it after the fact that I measured it.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how an owner acts. I've concluded it's not like me. That I know. I'm pretty confident it's not like me. Yeah, but I'm trying hard to be different, I guess. Because the current version, I'm a pretty unhappy person. So I'm
Really?
hoping under the new version, maybe I'll be a more happy person. And if the new version, I'm not a happy person, then I think I need to conclude that I'm just not built for business ownership, which is okay. That's all right. I like my old boss always said, you're a great number 2. You'll never be a good number 1. So that was his words of encouragement to me on an almost weekly basis. So, which is okay, because right now, as much as I dislike the guy, he's absolutely fucking right about the situation. So you can't doubt him. Maybe he's smarter than I thought.
But do you think that this is just like a season of business?
No, this is me fucking up things for a long time. But it all comes to a head, right? So it's just me making stupid, terrible decision after stupid, terrible decision. So we shall see if I can dig myself out of stupid, terrible decisions. You never know.
You could always become a public speaker. Oh, you're good at
that. This podcast does bring in a lot of money.
Yeah.
This is the retirement plan.
It brings in the amount of money that I generally bring in for things that I do. So the one thing that I am always very thankful for is that when times were good, I maintained and lived exactly the same lifestyle I lived my whole life. So that when times were bad, they weren't as bad as they could have been. Or are bad. Were bad.
I don't. You just never lived beyond your means, right?
I'm sure I still live well below my means.
Which is, I'm sure you'd rather live below your means than go to jail for stealing people's estimates or stealing people's money. Yeah. Money and never following through on their job.
I think that one of the reasons that, I guess Kelly and I being fiscally responsible and living far below our means, I guess. Really, like, for me, I don't really care about anything except that the kids have the opportunities they want. The rest of it, I couldn't give a shit. Like, I don't care about driving a Veloster. I don't give a shit about my pickup truck has 400,000 kilometers on it. I don't fucking care that I live in a 1,200 square foot house. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. As long as my kids get the opportunities they need. Past that, whatever happens to me is irrelevant. Like, whatever happens I made a decision 13 years ago, whatever happened to me was irrelevant. It had to be at that time, it was about my daughter because I didn't have Kelly and Nate in my life. So my decision was, I will live in this parking lot. I will do whatever has to happen. Whatever happens to me in my life is totally irrelevant as long as my daughter has a good life. And that led me forward for a long time with good decisions. And I think that maybe over the past little bit, I've got off track with that kind of stuff because then it was more what was the best for Kelly, Nate, and P. Because again, I don't really care what happens to me. Like, my life is an irrelevant life as long as the 3 of their lives are good. So I think that I got off track with that, maybe a little bit of stuff or something. I need to get back to that core, because that core value for me drives me forward to make good decisions. And I think maybe I started thinking about other things that weren't those 3 people directly all the time. And that's when I got off track.
That's heavy, Mike.
Is it really? I don't know. I feel fine about it.
I feel like you're going through some shit.
No, not really. No, I'm fine. I'm about average. No, I've hated myself for
first 10 minutes.
I've hated myself for 50 years. This is nothing new. This is 49 years. I don't remember ever waking up one morning and not absolutely hating myself. So
really,
I got 49 years of hatred, and this for me, this is a general conversation, man.
That's a hell of a place to be.
It's definitely drives me forward. Thinking you're a useless.
You can find motivation in it.
I can find Well, I have been posting demotivational things on my notes every day because the motivational thing is oversaturated, man. Everyone's just so fucking motivated. It's so saturated. Like, fuck off with the motivational shit.
There's so many motivational speakers. Imagine being the first demotivational speaker.
Stay home. Do nothing. Get fat. Eat cheesies. People would love you.
I think that's what our prime minister does.
Well, when he's not busy censoring the news, yes.
Yeah, did you guys get those notifications?
Oh, yeah. The news is, well, that's why I made the post about the Heitman Academy and how we were obviously supporting it. And we were in total disbelief that someone was arrested that was running a weird academy that had no background. We were like, I was shocked. I think the cops are just trying to shake him down. There's no fucking way that stuff's true. Well, I made that post and I used the news link so we could keep our listeners that follow us on Instagram at Not Our Finest Hour, P.O. Box, Ohio dash.
Carroll, Ohio?
Carroll, Ohio.
Carroll,
Beautiful
Ohio.
Fairfield County. I just wanted to, but when I shared the link, the Meta group, they took it down immediately because I was sharing news.
Only our world country. We live in. Unbelievable.
Our country's fucked. Like, that's fucked up, man. You can't share news from the U.S. So the actual legislation, though, is about. It's not necessarily like it's not. My understanding of the actual legislation is this is about the Canadian government saying if people share news links from specific news stations that Meta has to pay that news station for the link being shared that generated it. And Meta saying, yeah, we're not paying these news stations. And if you're a news station, you would want your shit shared as much as possible because then you can show your advertisers how much your shit has been shared. Like, it's probably crushing some of these legacy media companies in Canada because I'm sure that there's got to be ad revenue based on how much your links are shared.
Yeah, I think that Canada's just such a smaller market than the US that these US companies don't really care. Like
no, I'm talking about CTV though.
Yeah, I'm sure they would care.
Global news, like he's only fucking the Canadian companies. He's not. Yeah. Have you guys seen the Riverboat Brawl yet?
Yes.
That was intense, man.
That was nuts.
That was a crazy brawl. Have you seen the Riverboat Brawl?
Did you see the guy swimming across the river?
I have no clue what this is.
It's basically.
Are you looking it up right now?
Sure. Yeah. Look up River. Well,
where do you look it up? Is it banned? Is it news?
Twitter plays it. TikTok won't. They banned it all. But I think that Instagram's still allowing some of it to play. Basically, what happened was in Alabama, they were trying to dock this riverboat, and these people blocked the riverboat from docking because their boat was in the way and they refused to move it. And the dock attendant tried to get them to move the boat, and then they wouldn't. And then a fight broke out between the dock attendant and the people on the pontoon boat. And like 5 people jumped this guy, and then this guy jumped off the riverboat and swam so that he could climb out. And then all these people, when the riverboat got docked, they all flowed out and they just beat the shit out of these people that were blocking the riverboat, who I would say, after watching many videos, the people from the pontoon boat were fucking assholes and totally in the wrong. And that's my opinion of it. But the Riverboat Brawl is a highlight if you've seen it.
I'm watching it right now.
Have you seen the guy swimming to the brawl?
Yeah, he's coming.
And then there's a guy who goes like full bore with a chair, starts just fucking beating people.
So this guy climbs out of the water and gets in the brawl. I would be exhausted from that. I can't even walk up the driveway of my client's house.
Apparently, he's 16 years old, and
he takes off his shoes and gets right to fighting.
I gotta say, props to that motherfucker for helping out his. Like, that guy isn't just like, a bunch of people were yelling from the boat to try and get help for the guy who was getting beaten. But that guy jumped in the water, man.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's a baller. Like, that motherfucker jumped in the water and swam to the brawl. And then, like, I wouldn't even have made it. I would have drowned halfway. Like, I can't swim worth a shit. It's one of the things I'm totally useless at in life is swimming.
Yeah.
But you have a swimming pool.
Well, it's like 4 feet deep. We started digging a swimming pool today. That was exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah. Digging our swimming pool for our friend Tyler from Hallscape, who's an avid listener.
So things are looking up for Favor King. It's not as dreary as you
I felt
made
like
it out
today
to the
was a
beginning.
good. No, I felt like today was a good day.
Yeah.
Every day's a battle. No, I'm saying I'm trying to. I wasn't being dreary about it.
Yeah.
I was saying that we're trying to fix the operation.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to. I was excited about it. That was me being excited. You should see what I'm actually dreary and sad.
I thought we were having like a what is that when you have a therapist? One of those things.
Well,
A therapy session.
I'm just being
for
honest
people.
and truthful.
No, I appreciate that. It makes a
That's
good podcast.
That's what I thought we were supposed to be doing here.
I thought so too.
Being honest and truthful. Hey, things are fucking great. We're killing it. Everything's fucking perfect, man. Join my academy.
I mean, I was truthful that that original intro music that I made. So why would we stop telling the truth here?
I'm feeling invigorated. The topic was
Energized.
Energized. Yeah, exactly. You don't think that my speech about how my life is going was not invigorating to the general public? The fuck are you talking about? It was crazily invigorating. It's super. So I saw this thing, and it was called Play, Bench, Cut. And there's 3 things, and then you say whether you're going to play them, you're going to bench it, or you're going to cut it.
Oh,
so
that's what you were saying in the chat.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of fun.
That's a good one.
So
I like it.
I have one here, so you guys can do it. So remember, it's play, bench, cut. So coffee, energy drinks, water.
Oh,
Oh man.
as any good hardscaper would, you're gonna play coffee, you're gonna bench energy drink, and you're gonna cut water.
I'm gonna cut energy drinks.
Oh,
I struggled with this. I used to be a big energy drink guy, but honestly, I don't drink them that much anymore. I don't know if it's
this
because
is
I'm
the first year that I ever get into them.
I don't know
Really?
if it's because
Yeah.
I'm 50 and I'm worried about dying or having a huge. I drank one today. I'm probably. I would play coffee because I drink a fair amount of coffee. I would probably bench water and I would cut energy. If I had to, I would cut energy.
Really?
In my current state. 2 years ago, maybe opposite, but that's where I'd be right now.
In my current state, I would play water, bench coffee, cut energy drinks. I stopped drinking energy drinks when they started to make my chest feel like it was caving in.
That's when I doubled
Now-
down.
Do you drink the ones with sugar or sugar free?
I don't think that's what makes
I've
your
tried
chest
both.
feel hollow.
I
I
don't know.
don't think it's the sugar
I
that
can't
makes
drink
your
I can't drink the ones with the sugar, but I'll drink the sugar free.
Mm.
I feel that much better.
If I'm drinking an energy drink, honestly, the one I buy now is I only buy Red Bull, like the
Really?
standard Red Bull, and only the biggest can available. And if I'm going for that, it's sugar full of sugar. Because fuck it, I'm in that deep. Like if you're in so deep that you're drinking a Red Bull, if you wake up and you're like, fuck it, today's a Red Bull day, the whole fact there's even a sugar-free version is a fucking joke. Who
It's the
cares?
same as like Diet Coke. Like, why would you
I'll
have a
take
Diet Coke?
over a regular Coke.
I drink
No
Coke Zero.
way.
I drink Coke Zero because I find regular Coke too syrupy.
I don't like sugar in my any drink. Like
Have you tried Coke Zero?
I
Coke
for
Zero,
the
it
longest
crushes
time
Diet Coke.
I couldn't understand the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero.
There's a huge
But Coke
difference.
Zero has no caffeine, correct?
No, it has lots of caffeine.
Does it?
It has
so
a
what's
different-
the zero part?
It's a different kind of fake sugar that's killing you. Diet
Aspartame.
Coke has aspartame, and this stuff is called something else that's in this one. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, here's the contents. Acetaminophen something. I don't know. Oh, this has aspartame in it too. Maybe it's a different kind of.
Does it have caffeine though? For sure, it's got.
Oh
caffeine
fuck
in
yeah!
it?
It says caffeine on it.
Oh, yeah?
It's the last ingredient, but it's on there.
Okay.
Number one ingredient is carbonated water.
Well,
You guys read? This is a more landscaping. So I posted some landscaping content on the weekend that got like 20 likes and only one comment because it was landscaping content that no one cares about, from me anyways. And someone actually commented on it saying, "Ooh, hardscape content." Obviously a podcast listener. We're talking about how I never post anything that's hard. Those Kettleman bagels though, man. I don't know if you guys have those stores by you.
Right
Those
across the street.
Those bagels are fucking fantastic. Open 365. Does plow and snow, whatever the fuck you're doing, you can get a bit. I'll tell you, that place, I wish Kettleman Bagels would sponsor us. I mean, that bagel was fucking great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd get the onion bagel again though, but if I might get a different one. But man, that was a great sandwich.
The
It was
onion
fucking
bagel's
awesome.
up there. It's really good.
It was good, man. So
Yeah.
you go to the one across the street from you?
Yeah. What did you get? Did you get the Reuben? What did you get?
I got the Montreal smoked meat.
Oh, okay. The Reuben's good. I really like the Reuben, but I'm a big
Yeah.
Reuben fan.
I like
But
Reubens.
I'd say the onion's the best bagel. I would
Really?
say so. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I started with the best then. Maybe I'll be disappointed moving forward. I tell you, that was a great sandwich though. It got like an 8.2.
Wow.
And it didn't have it. The thing I liked about it though was it was open 24/7.
Hmm.
So like if you're heading to an early hardscaping job, you can get a fucking Kettleman's bagel. Like that place is 20. There's not even the locks on the doors. They advertise that no locks on the doors because there's always some motherfucker there making bagels. I did.
Wow.
The one thing that I was kind of amazed at though, I was like, is that there? I'm obviously there is. There's a big store. These people, these motherfuckers making bagels 24/7, 365. But I just didn't think there was that kind of bagel demand. But there must be,
there must be.
or they wouldn't exist. So here's my second play bench cut. IQ saw, quick cut, wet tub saw.
Oof. You're gonna play the quick cut. It's the star
Oh, but
player
what if-
of any
Okay.
landscape job.
I guess you can put the water on it. So, all right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say what happens
I
if
don't, but you can.
But what if I
Um,
was just saying? What if you didn't have a choice? No dust.
I guess if you had no choice. Anyway, quick cut. We're gonna play. We're gonna bench the IQ, and we're gonna kick. I haven't used a fucking wet saw in 5 years at least. That thing was a nightmare to begin with. 400-pound fucking saw. Drag it around. Set up the scissor lift and catch your fucking fingers in it all the time.
Yep.
2 people to carry it, 1 person to set up the lift, like the stand. Then you never
agree.
know where the drain plug is, so you
Yeah,
opened up wounds in me, Mike.
Well, okay. Chad, are you okay? Mike's
I'm
worried about
okay.
me.
I'm okay.
I'm just
it's just-
saying, like
I've
obviously
had a day
Chad's
too, but
Chad's going on a tirade. He's not had a great time today. What are you doing, Mike?
I'd say the same as Chad.
Really?
I don't know how you could have any different.
I actually was going to put the wet sauce too because it's actually more efficient than the IQ saw.
why? Knock on wood, I haven't had problems, the same problems that a lot of other people have had with their IQ saw.
Same.
Do you run it off a big enough generator?
I don't even have one.
I
Oh,
just
you
plug it
can't
into
run
the
it off
house
the
and I haven't had a
corner.
problem.
I had two. We had two at Ridge Lake IQ saws. 2 of them. They were the old model though. They weren't the new model. To be fair to IQ, and we had huge generators specifically bought for them.
Yeah, we bought a 4500 just for that, and it whizzes that thing. Like I've heard that people have plugged them into the house,
Oh yeah, it blows the
And
breaker immediately.
blows the breaker, and then someone's like chest freezer downstairs will stop working, and the client won't realize for like 4 days, and all their shit will be ruined.
Oh,
Oh, I haven't heard that
So-
story, but I love
No.
it.
Yeah, so,
That's a great story.
so
That's
I
a
will
story
never,
dreams are made of.
I will never run the saw off the client's house.
The first time we bought it was like, so we were dealing with those things maybe 10 years ago when they very first came out. They had one. And so we didn't know anything about it. So we plugged it in, blew the breaker. We ended up like it was a They did work, and like one time we were working beside like some dude's Ferrari in Toronto, so they came in handy then. There was only a mild dust over the Ferrari. That wasn't coated in dust. But yeah, they're okay. I don't know. I don't. The wet saw was just always faster, but they are a hassle. I guess I'll agree with you guys. I'll give it to you, even though I don't have either of those kinds of saws. I don't even own those kinds of saws.
Yeah, I only use it in the like pool coping caps. That's it.
Yeah, it's not
There's no
optimal to do
other. Yeah, quick cut. That's it.
Do you use the cleaning stone?
I have one. I
The
don't.
dressing
I do not
stone.
use it. The dressing stone.
The dressing stone.
Why?
For the longest time, I had one in my passenger side door for
Ooh.
years and years.
Did you use it?
I used it one time.
Ooh.
How much
Honestly, I
extra?
don't know what I'm doing.
How much extra fuel do you think that your vehicle burnt over the years for the carry the dressing stone around?
Not much, I'm sure.
It cost you something.
Must have cost me something. Everything costs something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It must have cost something to carry around the dressing stone you had no intention of using.
For the convenience of it, I think it was worth it alone, just in case.
In case you're
That
carrying a
someone's
dressing
diamonds
stone.
weren't aligned. At least
I
I
got a
could
lot of
say, "Hey, I got
money
some for
invested
you."
in my backup chain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
carrying
because
that
I've
around.
been. Well, it's in
So
every.
whenever you cleaned out the trucks, your aim was to be more fuel efficient in all the vehicles.
Yeah, maybe.
Times are tough at Favor
That's
King.
the backup chain was running up a big fuel bill, so
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I always have the backup chain on my mirror of whatever vehicle I drive. So the
Have you ever
backup
had
chain,
to use it?
the backup chain, I
Yeah.
did. This chain, one time the clasp broke, so I had to bust out the backup chain, which is literally exactly the same chain.
I thought the backup chain was for if you saw like a really nice patio border that you had to steal.
No. If I'm going to someone's house for a barbecue, I bring the backup chain just to just to check for horizontal creep or vertical creep or whatever. Yeah. If I'm going to someone's house for a backyard barbecue, as soon as I bust into the backyard, I'm like, it looks like you got some horizontal creep here. Let's get it. Let's get the chain and give it a fucking pull. I want to see what's going on here.
I interviewed Paul from IQ Power Saw, and he actually said that the dressing stone was more so for tile saws as opposed to hardscape. But I've seen other manufacturers that create content really talk up the dressing stone. So I don't know who to believe in any situation.
What is the dressing stone supposed to be doing?
It's more coarse, so it exposes more of the diamonds, I guess.
So why don't we use them with quick cuts?
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I know
Someone
nothing
write
about
us.
it.
Let us know what a fucking dressing stone's supposed to do.
Well, the cream and the concrete's gotten lots of responses. So I should have probably known that, but whatever. Keep your expectations of me low and I'll never disappoint you. That's the truth.
I have a real dilemma, guys.
Really?
Well, yes and no, because at this time next year it won't be a problem at all. But right now it's a little bit of an issue. I priced this job 2 or 3 seasons ago and ordered the material for it 2 or 3 seasons ago. It's probably 100-foot wall, and it's maybe 6 feet high. No, half that. Sorry, I have 300 square feet of material, including steps and shit like that. It's a waterfront wall, and my price at the time, for some reason, I wanted to give them a deal, and I said I would put in the entire thing, material and product, for $23,000, taxes in. And I thought it's only going to take me 3 or 4 days. I'll make some money. Anyway, fast forward 2 or 3 years. the wall is no longer going in because the dock permits aren't working out and a whole bunch of other shit. But the client wants to use that same material to build patios with, like raised patios at his place. There's a little bit of room to get more money, but not much, even though the scope of the entire job has changed. What do I do?
You can't return the product. This is
It's 3-year-old Roca.
oh
Like,
3 years. Okay.
It's 3 years old Roca. It's already paid for. We own it. Like, they just want to build raised stone decks out of it.
Oof.
But like, and in their mind, and they're fucking phenomenal people, don't get me wrong, but they feel like, well, since you're not doing one job for one price, you can do another job with the same material and it should be close to the same price, right? When in my mind, like, we're 3 years later now,
Yeah.
still haven't installed this stuff. Prices have went up exponentially.
Do you put an expiry on your estimates or your quotes?
My quotes,
do.
yes, but
Yeah.
like, we went into it with these guys that the project just kept getting pushed back and back, right? So are you the bad guy who says, you know what, your price is double now? Or are you going to honor your price, and for how long? And for how long should you honor your price?
I don't think it's reasonable, to be honest, for
I
a
think we have
client to
all.
expect that.
I think on all of our quotes it says they're good for either 6 or 12 months.
Yeah.
I feel confident that's what it says.
So
I know what you're saying though. Like, you said you would install this amount of material for $23,000.
Yeah.
But 3 years later, you still own the material.
Well, he owns the material, right? Now that he's put
How much is left after the material?
There's taxes in maybe 12K. You know, not a lot of money left, and that's what I haven't even bought stone yet, right? Like, I'm gonna.
You got to pay for activation disposal.
He was gonna excavate, and he's like a construction guy, right? So like, I have faith that he could do some excavation and prepare the site for base and stuff like that.
So you have to still buy gravel.
Yeah.
And labor.
Yeah.
How much wiggle room was there?
I want to say 20%, right? So we're maybe looking at another 2K, 3K, which still.
How much gravel do you have to buy?
I'd say probably $1,500 max.
Well, you do have those great gravel rates.
Yeah, we do have great gravel rates out here, and we can truck them to ourselves. So
he's in construction. He should understand.
He should understand.
He should. Or did he say he knows how these things work?
Have you spoke about this?
He understands that there's going to be a bit of a price increase.
Hold on. We need to establish this. If you do this job cheap, and if you do this job for the original quoted price, how many jobs can he promise you in the future from his friends and not deliver? Because that's the key for me doing this job. If he can promise me 15 jobs that I'm never going to do for his friends, I am doing this all day long for the original quote.
Is he a real estate agent?
He had mentioned at our last meeting that he's going for his real estate license.
Perfect.
But he's got a bunch of rentals and stuff. Like, yeah,
I would honestly just do it for free. Like, I would.
Yeah,
the opportunity for growth in the future with this person is tremendous.
He is a good guy, and he's.
Do you know him personally, or was he someone who randomly called you?
No, I know him through the construction field in our city. Right. Like,
I feel like then you need to do this job and just bite it and do it.
Just bite it and do
it.
Take
the 20 points. Take the 20 points that he's offering. How many days is this going to be out of your life? 3 days?
Well, whenever it was one patio, it was 3 or 4 days. Now that it's front and back patio, we're looking at a week and a half.
Split job.
Yeah, like you part in the front.
Do you have to add more material?
Yeah, we got to add some pavers and stuff because it was all wall before, and now it's no longer all wall.
Well, I would tell him he's got to pay for the new pavers and the
Oh,
new
absolutely, right? But then do you put the screws to them for the new pavers? Because there's an install cost on that too, right?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'll
We can
install.
recoup a bit there.
I would say, bro, you're becoming a real estate agent, which is going to lead me to a whole bunch of non-work. And you already promised to introduce me to more of your construction friends that don't need any work. So I will install the original material for the original cost. Any extra material, that's material plus install.
Yeah. So I'm back up to
I would install the original material for the original cost, the wall material. But if you want pavers, that's pavers plus install plus gravel plus.
yeah.
'Cause you can't. The guy expects you to install a bunch of pavers for the same price from 3
No.
years ago.
No, there was no pavers on the original project, right? But now there's obviously raised landings and everything. So we're gonna have to figure those out somehow. Um,
Do you need a software to help you with that?
That's a great lead-in, Mike.
yeah, a software. Can you go back and re-engineer my original quote so that it was the right price from the beginning, and I'm not fucking snowballing this fucking awful, terrible
How far
basement
away is this
deal
place
like
from your?
from my shop? 15 minutes max.
Oh, that's okay.
But
then.
it's Cornwall. Everything's 15 minutes max.
Yeah, but still,
So-
15 minutes isn't far.
No. It's if that's the saving grace on the job.
I've run
Is
my
that
mouth
it's
into some
close.
terrible shit that's like 2 hours from my shop. So,
Oh,
yeah, this is at
yeah.
least 15 minutes, away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I suppose. And you say you're not positive. Look at that. You're looking
I
at the
never
right
said I
side
wasn't
of things
positive.
here.
That was you guys' impression saying that my conversation wasn't positive. That wasn't me. I felt like I was being pretty upbeat about the whole situation. It's the two of you that felt like I wasn't. I felt like I was a ringing positivity.
We'll play it back.
Right? Someone will play it back. That would be fantastic.
We'll put up a poll after the week's episode airs, and we'll ask what your mental state seemed like. It was
I had another play bench cut. I have another one.
Go for it.
Chevy, Dodge, Ford.
You guys have the same cup?
Mine's from PV Mart.
Oh.
What's
It's
that?
the old TSC Tractor Supply.
Oh, mine
we don't
says
have
Yeti
anymore.
on it. I don't know where it came from.
I can't afford one of those. Holy,
Really?
can't afford a Yeti.
I think it was free.
Well,
Actually, this one I think someone got me. I have some that came free too, but this one I think someone got for me. I do like it.
Is that the one you said you were going to give me?
Yeah, then I started drinking out of it. Never saw you. No, it's not like you just never come around anymore.
Mine's peeling around
You used
the
to come
top.
over all the time.
You used to come over.
This is a different Yeti. It's a small Yeti that holds coffee. And I got this when I was in Atlanta doing sales training at head office at Permacon, Conperm, whatever. This has survived that long.
I thought Permacon was Canadian.
No, it's owned by Oldcastle.
Yeah, but I thought Permacon was called something else in America.
Bellegarde.
Yeah.
Well,
but
Bellegarde is called something else in Canada. Let's be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Just
fine.
in Ontario, right?
Quebec and Ontario. It's the only place Bellegarde is called Permacon. Everywhere else in North America, it's called Bellegarde.
So was it Permacon head office, or was it some other?
No,
head office?
I was at Oldcastle's head office.
Okay, there. That's
in
what I was
Atlanta
searching for.
Yeah, Bellegarde is actually a division of Oldcastle.
The
As is
biggest
Permacon.
brick company in the world, is that Oldcastle?
Well, it's a pretty big company. There's a lot of stuff that's Oldcastle.
Yeah.
Like almost everything is. If you start really looking at shit in like building supply places, almost everything says an Oldcastle company, but they never change the name of anything. like instead of calling it all, because all of this, even Oldcastle, is a division of CRH. So Oldcastle isn't even actually the company. Oldcastle is the company that owns a bunch of companies that's owned by another company in Ireland called CRH.
In Ireland.
In Ireland, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. There's no corporate tax in Ireland. Burger King's headquarters are there too. You should move the NDL
I wonder
to Ireland.
if that, yeah, I could get behind no corporate tax. That's for sure.
Yeah.
CRH has a market cap or net worth of $43.52 billion. They employ 75,800 people in 29 countries.
Wow.
I used to be one of those people. Did they minus a person when I left?
It actually says here, since Paver King left, their market share is actually.
Why were you watching a video of the guy shotgunning beers in the name of? Like you put it in our group chat.
Me?
You
Yeah.
did?
I put?
I didn't put it in there.
I didn't put it in there.
I don't remember that at all.
In
Let
one
me
of
go
our-
back and see.
In one of our group chats, you put in a video of
Oh,
guy.
somebody sent that to me.
Oh, someone sent it to you?
Yeah, because when I went back after that pickled egg episode, I couldn't find this. I didn't see this one. I found the one where you were making maple donut sandwiches or something like that.
Yeah.
And then somebody sent this to me, and I never saw this. And it's you handing out non-alcoholic Budweiser beers as a sales rep, and people shotgunning it in the paper.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
That's
how you sell
awesome.
Pavers, baby. That's.
I have never seen that, having worked at a supplier for 7 years and also now a landscaper. I've never seen a sales rep be so dedicated as to think of unique ways to bring people in and sell them products. So
I don't know if I sold any more product doing that. I feel like
you made people happy.
I feel like the people at that event were happy.
It looked like it.
Yeah, I feel like they were happy people. I feel like I had a good time then.
I'm glad you keep those so that people can always go back and watch them.
I've saved every story I've ever put up.
I hope that you never get banned from Instagram. Knock on wood.
Shadow banned.
Yeah.
I don't like the stories disappear. Bothers me.
That's why I never doubled down on Instagram.
I've said like, if you look at, there's in the stories, I have one for all of them. You know what people did enjoy this week? The fact that I hit 500 followers on Threads, but there was no giveaway. And I pointed that out. People enjoyed that. I had a few people message me about, wow, I'm really excited about how you're not giving anything away at 500 followers. I was like, I know. It's fucking thrilling. I was going to run a big contest for a bit there, but now I don't know where the fucking custom ordered Ray-Bans are. They're in the house somewhere. They're lost. Maybe they got stolen. I don't know.
She didn't leave them in one of the trucks?
Did I tell that story on the last podcast
them in the truck?
No, so about Brad finding my sunglasses?
I don't think so.
Have I heard? Oh, this is a good story. So I parked my truck one day, and then I came back to it, and I left it in the middle of the yard, and Cody was there. So I was like, "Can you put this away? I gotta go." So I don't know what I was doing, and I left. I think Cody used the truck for something. And the next day I got in the truck, and my sunglasses, my big yellow sunglasses from X Power Eyewear, who haven't done fuck all for me lately. So come on, X Power Eyewear, step up your fucking game. X Power Eyewear, listen, you've probably sold at least 2 pairs of glasses from me. I should get a absolutely free ride for 3 people to H&N. I think that should be a 3-person ride.
And they're going to say, but because of the taxes.
Because of taxes.
We can't give it to you. So we're going to offer you nothing.
We're going to give you nothing. We're giving you nothing. That's on par with my life. So great. So I looked in the truck. I didn't find them. Then I called Cody. and said, "Hey, have you seen my glasses?" And she said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And then I kind of doubled down on, I know they were on the dash and they're not there anymore. And she doubled down on the fact that she did not know where they were. And so I began ripping the truck apart looking for these glasses. Then I ripped the Veloster apart. Then I searched the shop at our yard because I thought maybe I wandered in there and put them down. And this became, for about a week, was like consuming my life because I actually really like those glasses. And then we're in the process of buying another bin truck, and I had gone to look at it myself like a week before that, and because I had a clear memory of the glasses being on the dashboard of the truck, clear. And a week later, or I don't know, maybe 6 days later, Brad, obviously I don't know enough about the truck to make a pure judgment on it, so I'd asked Brad to go by and have a look at it. So Brad went by and had a look at it, and he climbed into the truck, and then he sent me a picture and said, "Hey, I think these are your sunglasses in this truck." And I said, "They are my sunglasses." And then I felt bad for, kind of thinking that Cody had lost my sunglasses maybe for the last 6 days, but actually she had fuck all to do with it. So I didn't apologize to her about it. I'll say that much.
Oh,
But Brad did rescue my sunglasses from the bin truck. But see, I did have a clear memory of the glasses being on a dashboard of a bin truck, just not one that we owned. So it was that. But that's the size of my life right there. I left my glasses, and so, anyways.
we stole our tandem back this week
Stole
from
it
the
back.
from the mechanic. Yeah, our new tandem. We bought it and then sent it right to the mechanic, and then we wanted to pick it up on Friday, but they said they needed it. They want to weld the pintle hitch onto the back of it, and I said, okay, fine, I'll try again next week. And Monday rolled around, and it happened to be a holiday, so we took our spare key and snuck in and picked up the truck, and we brought it back to the yard. We painted it from red to black, and then snuck it back again this morning before they even knew.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's a stealth move.
And then the business owner called me and said, hey, your other truck's done, because for some reason the compressor was seized. And then he said, hey, do you mind sending me a picture of your new credit card? Your old one is expired and we need card on file.
And you thought immediately of grass cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you a grass cutter before? Because they all ask for card on file. No.
Did he bring up the root density with you?
No.
Listen, I got card on file and root density here.
His shop is so close that we often ride trucks there with severe issues or with no plates for him to repair.
That
He's
seems
got a dense
Cornwallish.
It's that close. You could walk there if you really needed to. And you could also take
someone could
road.
walk there.
Someone could walk there, not you
Not
or
me.
I suppose.
No, I couldn't
But-
walk there for sure.
But
Someone could.
you just take the back road through the quarry and you're right there. And there's obviously no MTO sitting on the quarry road. So
Well, is there a lot of MTO in Cornwall?
this past week, there's been a lot of MTO in Cornwall. We've seen them
Do you
daily.
know the guy? Like, there's 12
No.
people in Cornwall. Are you like,
No.
hey man, I went to high school with you?
No.
Do you ever look at the MTO people, the MTO guy, and say, "I'm really sorry, I fucked your daughter"? Like, I didn't mean that. Like, because this Cornwall's so small.
No, I haven't met many old MTO guys in Cornwall. So if I was fucking their daughter,
In high school?
well, they wouldn't have
No,
daughters.
I'm
They're
saying, I'm sorry, I was
about my
fucking your
age.
daughter when I was in high school.
Oh, well. No, they're not that old. They're not that old.
No, you haven't.
No.
Okay, well, so much
No,
for that.
they're all young and incompetent. But we
Oh,
won't go
that's definitely a good trait with that
Yeah.
profession.
there. Yeah, failed
That
cops.
profession, I
but-
very rarely met a super competent person. But
And they'll have different criteria.
I feel like that profession is like a mixture of people who couldn't make it as a mechanic and couldn't make it as a cop. Not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be
It's-
truthful here.
Well, why
Listen,
would you go and be a mailman or something? Why do you want to be a fucking
I don't know.
MTO
There's a great
officer?
future in being a mailman.
Why? How is being an MTO any better than being a mailman?
I just don't think there's a great future in because I feel like mail is dying. If you're a young guy, young person in their 20s, are you looking like the future is in paper mail? Like
No, you're right.
I feel like that's like if you're 22 coming out of college and you're like, I want to get a job that's going to last me the rest of my life. I don't know that you look at the post office and say, fuck yeah.
Does anyone ever come out of high school looking for a career and choose an MTO officer though?
Well, I'm saying
Like,
I think they wanted I think if you come out of high school and you're saying to yourself, I want to be a police officer, I want to serve and protect. And then you flunk out of that. And then you say to yourself, you know what? As a backdrop, I'm going to become a licensed mechanic. I'm going to be a mechanic. And then you spend $100,000 on tools and then flunk out of that. Now you've flunked out of being a police officer and you've flunked out of being a mechanic and you say, what are the options for a failed police officer and a failed mechanic? And you say to yourself, an MTO officer is perfect because no one has any expectations of those people to know anything.
true.
You could become
Yeah,
a car thief.
Could you?
I mean,
Maybe.
mechanic, police officer, you know what to look for, you know how to
Yeah.
get away.
Have you ever
That's
been
true.
pulled over, Mike?
Not by the MTO, no.
Never. Really?
Never.
It's fun.
I fly under their
It's
radar.
Something else. I got a ticket
Well, he
once
doesn't tow
for.
a trailer though. They're
Rarely.
never going to pull you over
Yeah,
if you're not.
true.
towing a trailer.
Yeah. I got a ticket for having no CVOR. And that was early years in business when my truck was 100 kilograms into CVOR territory.
Perfect.
It was a 1 ton fucking. He's like, you have to have a CVOR. I'm like, I'm fucking new at this, man. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, I got an empty dump trailer behind me. Like,
Yeah,
you're
but
saving the law. Like, you're.
Yeah, but the law is that they don't have to tell you about it. You have to know about it if you're on the road.
Yeah, but there's no leniency. Come on now, like.
Well, there could be. They did not. They chose not to.
Yeah.
Probably because of your neck tattoos.
I didn't have neck tattoos at the time. I was so new in
Okay.
business.
Did you have the hand tattoo?
Yeah, well, I've had those since university. So,
That's potentially the problem. Do you have
why
a
is that
tattoo
a
on it?
problem? That's discrimination.
I agree with you. I'm not saying I would discriminate with you because of that.
See, even my clients don't discriminate against me.
Well, some might have. They just didn't hire you. That
Yeah,
you
but
don't
those
know
aren't
about.
my clients.
Well, I
right?
get that. So obviously, yeah, your clients aren't. But how many people do you know that there's people who may have discriminated me because I'm fat? They're like, I don't want some fat landscaper here. I want a lean, mean landscaper that works with his shirt off.
And the
That's
old
the
women
truth.
like that. Yeah, that's true.
You know, I want someone who's gonna take my $60,000 deposit and never come back.
Somebody shows up in a nice car, perhaps.
Do you guys think that the fall of the height? Now, I want everyone to realize we do support the Heightman Academy.
And everything we
But-
say is alleged.
Yeah,
Any-
it's
yeah,
all unproven accusation.
yeah.
Do you think that the fall of the Heightman Academy may be the first in the domino of universities and academies that might come tumbling down?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if you see more of it in the next 6 to 8 months. I don't know if they can make it through the winter.
The winter will be tough for them.
That's my premonition. With no
No,
deposits.
at the university they teach snow plowing and how to make millions of dollars from that.
But you're not getting deposits for big jobs, snow
No.
plowing, right? So I
No.
feel like if the big jobs aren't there for next year and you can't call in those deposits,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough for some guys.
Well, I think that probably when you're taking the money from a deposit to finish the job you're on, and then there's no next job. That's when you end up fucked.
Yeah, the pyramid scheme.
It's must be tough for those university members to know that they were just funding construction.
No, academy members, not university.
Academy members.
This was an academy.
We're just propping up somebody's construction business.
Yeah. I haven't seen a million academy members run out to talk about what an amazing person.
I'm sure they wouldn't want people to know that they were a part of the academy, maybe.
Not if you believed in it.
Well, yeah, if you believed in it.
We need an Epstein-style list of everybody who subscribed to that academy. But this time we'll release it.
It's, man,